Lord willing, I be giving them voice in the sky saying,
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know.
Right, an ox knows who his owner is, man. An ox know who he is, and an ass or a donkey know who he is and who he belongs to. But the Bible's letting us know that the Israelites don't know. The Israelites don't know who they are, who they belong to, where they come from, where they at, or where they going. Right? Keep going.
My people does not consider.
Right? Our people, dealing with Muslims and Christians. When we deal with the black and brown community of Muslims and Christians, and it says that the Israelites are Allah's favorite people, and they were the people of the book, and that all the promises and inheritances are given to them, our people don't even consider we them people, man. The Arabs know they're not the Israelites, but they'll say it's the Arabs. Yeah, they'll say it's Ishmael, and they know they Ishmael, it's not Israel. But they rather give it their glory to somebody else. Bring it up.
A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
Right, these people that don't even know who they are a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity. A bunch of drug dealers, a bunch of killers, right? A bunch of just disobedient people who don't even care about God. Even when they are Muslim or Christians, right? What y'all believe in? You're a Muslim? What do you do you subscribe to the Noble Quran?
I do.
You do? Can I show you something? Yeah, drop that.
I just want to listen to what you say.
No, all praises. I was just talking, hoping somebody would come up and talk. So as long as
I wouldn't like to talk, but I just want to listen to what you're saying.
you know the Quran.
Not entirely. I don't think I'm very connected to my.
Are you Arab?
I am.
So you've been Muslim your whole life?
I have.
You didn't even have to take your Shahada?
No.
Right. Bring this up.
Surah 2, verse 40.
Al-Baqarah is the biggest book in the Quran,
Okay.
right? And it's the beginning of the book. It's something that most Muslims should read, right? At least that part, right? Bring it up.
O children of Israel, remember my favor which I bestowed upon you.
Right? So the children of Israel, Allah, or Angel Jibril told Muhammad that Allah said that, O children of Israel, remember my favor that I bestowed upon you. So Allah's favorite people are the children of Israel. And they need to remember that. Yes.
Yeah, but they also, when they were living throughout their life, there's different prophets, and each prophet has their own tribe. And in Arabic, we translate it into Bani Israel. Bani Israel is the Israelites. But the punishment that they had knocked them off as God's favorites. But also, we like to
Where does it say that at?
it's knowledge that we get from the prophet stories.
Where?
Prophet stories. So like Prophet Musa's story.
Yes.
Prophet Musa, he was the
Go to
leader.
Leviticus 20.
Prophet Musa, he was in Egypt with the Pharaoh,
Yes.
and all the people of the Pharaoh were Bani Israel. And Bani Israel, they were the weakest people of that time because the fear that the Pharaoh instilled in them, and the motivation,
I understand what you're saying. You're giving a historical, confirmation of what the Bible says. But as far as Allah saying that they're not the favorite no more, like when did that occur?
Well, it's also that's what they get from the stories and what they did to get knocked off on the favorite.
Was Muhammad after the Israelites lost their covenant? Yeah. So why is Muhammad telling the children of Israel to remember that they're the favorite then? If it was after they lost the covenant, why is Muhammad telling them to remember?
Because he was the one that God sent down the Quran to.
To tell the children of Israel that they are the favorite and remember that they're the favorite.
Well, that was not the whole point of the Quran. The whole point of the Quran is so that we can get our rules for life and that we can get our history.
That's fine. As far as the Arabs.
Yes.
Yeah, not as far as the Israelites. So it was the understanding the history of the Arabs and how Islam came about, right? But what I'm asking is, if the children of Israel stopped being Allah's favorite people, and it happened before Muhammad came, why is Muhammad confirming that the children of Israel need to remember that they're the favorite? When did it happen? Did it happen after Muhammad that they weren't the favorite no more? Because when?
It happened when they were in
Egypt?
In Egypt. scriptures, where Beni Israel, because they're not talking about Israel, the state that is now what Israel do, right?
I don't think you're understanding. I don't think it, like you see what I'm saying though. You know what I mean?
Trying my
I think
hardest.
you're misinterpreting Beni Israel wrong.
Why?
Because Beni Israel is a representation of the Arabs.
It's not a representation. She said it was a representation of the Israelites, right? Beni Israel is not a representation.
She said it was the Arabs. She said it changed to the Arabs.
They all lived in Egypt.
Who, the Arabs? Ishmael never lived in Egypt. Ishmael never lived in Egypt.
They all immigrated to Egypt.
Who? No, the Arabs after 500 AD, they immigrated and they migrated over there to Liberia and Egypt. But we're not talking about the same time as Moses. You're conflating two different timelines.
Well, that is the time of
Yes, she
Moses.
is.
What
The
was it?
Beni Israel, that is Musa's code, his lead, his
not
people.
All right. I don't understand where you're getting this information from, right?
I have a question.
Yes.
Right now, what is this? What are you guys trying to promote?
The reason I'm asking is because even though you're saying that Allah is the Israelites are no more Allah's favorite, that's not what Muhammad said, right? So Muhammad said for the Israelites to remember that they are the favorite. So the important thing is to understand who these people are. Who are the people that's Allah's favorite people that's walking the earth today? It's not the Arab, because the Arab is Ishmael. So who are the Israelites that are the favorite of Allah that are walking this earth today? But that's a big deal. That's a big deal for nobody to know who Allah's favorite people is, and for people to subscribe to this and believe in it and not know who it's talking about.
There's different stories in the Quran. It's like a history book for us.
Of who?
History book.
All right, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Read this again.
Have tribal names.
It's cool, King. I got this.
Surah 2, verse 40. O children of Israel, remember my favor which I bestowed upon you, and fulfill your obligations to my covenant with you, so that I fulfill my obligations to your covenant with me.
But you understand, and what you've been taught and what you believe is that the covenant no longer belongs to the children of Israel, right? And now it belongs to everybody. But according to Muhammad, Muhammad is telling the children of Israel to keep the covenant.
Muhammad didn't say anything. The Quran is not.
Well, hold on. Jibril spoke to Muhammad. Muhammad spoke, and his caliphs was writing down what he was saying. This is how the Quran was compiled. Can Muhammad write or read? No. So who wrote what he said? The people around him. So in order for them to write what he said, he had to have said it, right? Yeah. So he said the children of Israel are the. Oh, okay, it's an angel's word. So these words that it's a lot of judgment, man. These words that Angel Jibril is saying to Muhammad, he's telling them that the Israelites got Allah's favor and that the Israelites have to keep the covenant. So why would you teach that they're no longer the favorite and that the covenant no longer belongs to them? If that's from an angel, that came from Angel Jibril, he got the word from Allah. So basically Allah said that the children of Israel are my favorite and they have to keep the covenant, but you don't believe it?
Remember the favor I bestowed upon you.
The old children of Israel.
Yes,
So remember or forget.
I bestowed upon you.
So do they have to remember or forget? So the children of Israel to remember. So obviously it's still his favor, even in the times of Jibril, right? And that the covenant couldn't have been taken from the children of Israel because Allah told Jibril that the Israelites have to keep the covenant.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm not trying to debate or anything. I truly want to understand what you're trying to say. But it feels, correct me if I'm completely wrong, but it feels like you're kind of defending the Israel. But why?
Because the Quran
Is
does.
that what you're trying to do?
Is that like, are you
Trying to defend?
trying to Israel or?
So the children of Israel. All right, let me go somewhere. I'm with this that you have to believe in the Torah, right? You have to believe in the Psalms, the prophets, and the Injil. So we're going to go to the Torah where thus saith Allah, right? Allah said, right? Bring it up.
Leviticus 26 and 42. Then I will remember my covenant with Jacob
and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham. Will I remember?
So there was a covenant made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So Allah said he was going to remember this. Keep going. Just like how he said to remember it in Surah 2 and 40, right? Keep going.
And I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them.
So the land of Israel is not going to have the children of Israel there, right? Keep going.
And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquities, because they despise my judgments.
Because they despise the judgments of Allah, the Torah, right? Because they despise the Torah, they was put in the land, they was kicked out of the land. But the Jewish man doesn't keep the Torah, but they're in the land. So obviously they can't be the people. If Allah's word said, because you're disobedient, the land is going to be without you. But the Jewish, they have the biggest gay parade in the land of Tel Aviv. That's a homosexual parade. That's against Allah, right? So if they're doing something like that, that's disobeying God, according to the Torah, they would get kicked out of the land, right? But they live there, so they can't be the real Jews. Keep going.
Even because they despise my judgments, and because their souls abhor my statutes. And yet, for all of that, when they be in the land of their enemies,
right? So they despised the Torah, they didn't keep the laws, they got kicked out of the land.
And yet, for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies.
So now, because they're not in the land of Israel, they will be in the land of their enemies.
I will not cast them away.
Right, Allah said he will never cast them away, even though they broke the covenant. Allah said that he won't do it. Keep going.
Neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly.
The children of Israel will be destroyed.
And to break my covenant with them.
He said he's not going to break the covenant. But if we're saying that he broke the covenant, then we'll be calling Allah a liar. But because if we're saying that he broke the covenant, we would have to say he's a liar. But even the Quran doesn't say that he broke the covenant. He's telling the children of Israel to keep it, even though they were disobedient. Even though this came out years, thousands of years after Moses and Egypt, thousands of years after they disobeyed and they went through the land and were disobedient and went through the many captivities. He's still saying that he won't take the covenant away. And thousands of years after the Torah, the Quran is telling them that they have to keep the covenant. So it's not that it's been taken from them, it's that we have to tell the children of Israel that they have to keep the covenant. But the issue is, there's some people walking this earth today that are the children of Israel, but nobody's teaching them that they're the children of Israel, that they have to keep the covenant. That's why it's important. That's why we're out here. We're out here to let who the real Israelites know, right? What people is in the land of their enemies because they disobey God? Is the Arabs in the land of their enemies? Or are the Arabs in the land of their enemies? Are in their land. They're not in the land of their enemies. What about the Chinese? They're in the land of China, right? They're not in the land of their enemies. What about the East Indian with the red dot on their head? They're in the land of India, right? They're not in the land of their enemies. What about the black men? They're in the land of their enemies. Isn't America the land of the black man's enemies? Didn't they steal them from the western shores of Africa, rape, rob, murder, and enslave them, hung them on trees, whipped them in the back, sold their children on auction blocks, took their name, took their language, took their natural resources, took everything from them? Teacher! Just like Allah said what happened. Allah said that this would happen because of their disobedience. So we're proving with prophecy, history, and archaeology that the black man is the real Jew. Right. Jewish means they're acting like a Jew. Just like if I said you was childish. If I said you're acting childish, you're not a child, you're acting like a child. Just like when they say they're Jewish, they're not the real Jews. Right. They are Israelis. They're not Israelites. Right? The real Israelites won't be in the land. Right? So the important thing that we out here doing is letting the Negro that's caught up in Islam, let him know that according to the Quran, he has to follow the Torah. He has to keep the covenant. And if not, he's going to continue to be in the land of his enemies.
I enjoy your passion. I like hearing that.
Right now, what do you guys believe? Are you guys...
We believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we believe in the Torah, just like the Quran tells us. As far as the Israelites, they have to believe in Torah.
Okay, I had two other questions. What is it? I've seen that all of you guys are wearing a ratchet.
Go to Numbers 15. You can bring, because I can show throughout the Quran.
What is that book right there?
This one.
No,
This is the Torah, the prophets, the Psalms, and the Injil. And right now we're going to the Torah. All right.
Book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
So it was a commandment from Allah to the children of Israel in the Torah that they have to wear fringes on the borders of their garments
Throughout their generations,
throughout their generations. So it's going to be forever.
and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
So this ribbon of blue, every one of us you see with fringes is going to have a ribbon of blue.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
So the reason why we had these fringes is before we go in our pocket and grab our wallet, we got to touch our fringes. So now we're looking at the ingredients. All right, there's pork in here. I can't eat this. Oh, there's shellfish in here. I can't eat this. Right, before you grab your weapon. I mean, can I de-escalate the situation? Before you grab your weapon, you're touching your fringes. Do I really need to do this? Can I de-escalate this situation? It's going to remember the commandments of God. Before you lay with a woman, before you unbuckle your pants, you got to touch your fringes. So that's like, are you married? Should I be dealing? Are you another man's wife? So these fringes help you remember and help you stay in order so that you don't do something against God. Right.
I enjoy hearing you talk. You're very passionate.
All praises to the Most High. You know what the Quran says? Let me show you something what the Quran says. Bring this out. Surah 45 and 16.
Surah 45 and 16. And indeed, we gave the children of Israel the scripture.
So indeed, Allah gave the children of Israel the scriptures, the Torah, the books that came before everything else. Keep going.
And the understanding of the scripture.
The understanding of the scriptures were only given to the children of Israel according to the Quran. So we can go to this prophecy, we can go to history, archaeology, the Torah, even the Quran to gain understanding of who these people are, what Allah wants, and what's going on. Right? Keep going.
And its laws.
The laws of God, which is where these fringes and the border of blue, this was given to the children of Israel.
And the prophethood.
Prophethood, you said there was many prophets from different tribes. All these prophets were from different tribes of the 12 tribes of Israel. The prophethood was given to the children of Israel.
Because Islam didn't exist at that time.
Islam didn't exist at that time.
It's like the evolution of all the books. That's why you believe in all of them.
Yeah, as far as being an Arab or a Muslim, because let me get I'm gonna show you something. Let me see what my phone is. I gotta find this story real quick. I got you though. Just bear with me. Y'all read Arabic and you understand it? All right, so we're going to read it. If you want, you can read it in Arabic as well, so that we could gain understanding. Read Surah 43 and 44. This has the Arabic in the book.
Surah 43 and 44. And verily this, the Quran, is indeed a reminder for you, O Muhammad, and your people, Quraysh people.
So your people, Muhammad's people, the Quraysh people,
or your followers.
Right, so this Quran was sent down for Muhammad and his followers. Now this, I'm gonna show you something else. Go to Surah 43 and 3. Should have started at 3.
Surah 43 and 3. Verily, we have made it a Quran in Arabic that you may be able to understand.
Right, so the Quran was created, sent down to Muhammad in Arabic so that the Arabs can understand. It wasn't for everybody to understand. It was for the Arabs because the Arabs used to be polytheists. They were the pagans. They used to worship 360 gods. Right? On the Kaaba, there was a god, there was idols on top of the Kaaba, and they would shoot arrows at the idol. They would ask a question to the idol, and they would shoot an arrow at it. Whatever direction the arrow fell would be the answer to their question. So Muhammad had this revelation of the one true God. So he went over there and was like, look, y'all can't be worshiping multiple gods. There's only one God. So the Israelites already had the scriptures, had the Torah, the Psalms, the prophets, and the Injil. The Quran was sent down in Arabic so that the Arabs can understand, and that this is that Muhammad confirmed the one true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Are you saying that like the Jewish are from Israel?
The Jewish people got the land of Israel in 1948 by the British. It was called a Balfour Declaration. The British gave them the land. That's not how prophecy says the children of Israel will come back. Hold on, I'm gonna show you one thing. You believe in the gospel too. Go to Revelation 2 and 9. No, this is the gospel. Revelation.
Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
So he said, I know your works, tribulation, and poverty, but you're rich. How can you be rich but in poverty? Go to James 2 and 5 real quick. How can you be rich and in poverty, right? That sounds like a contradiction in a way. But I just want y'all to understand. I want to make sure we have a total understanding.
James 2 and 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, had not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith?
So God chose the poor of this world to be rich in faith. So when it says I know you're poverty, but you're rich. We're in poverty. The real Jews would be in poverty, but they'll be rich in faith, like how we seen the black woman singing hymns to God in the cotton field, and you know the black and brown man was worshiping God and singing to God when they was in slavery because they're rich in faith, right? So read it from the top.
I know, Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So Isa prophesied that there would be a people calling themselves Jews and they're really not Jews, but they would be the synagogue of Satan. So we understand that those Jewish people are not the real Jews. You know the real Jews were slaves in Egypt? But the white man has to put sunblock on in the beach.
Right.
So how was they building pyramids? Right? You think they was giving them sunblock? No, right? But what people do you know to be in slavery? The colored people. I mean, and they can withstand that heat and they can work through that heat and can survive. So we know that the Israelites today, they're not the Jewish people. The Jewish people, they are the ones who say they are Jews and are not, that are the synagogue of Satan.
To also go on the point what you were saying about like you can be rich in this life but poor, depending on your faith level.
Yeah.
So if your faith is pure and you're rich in this world, you're rich in the afterlife. But you know these worldly materials. There's I know the verse, but I forgot the surah. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. With hardship comes ease, and with more hardship comes ease. So if you want to add those points on for the hardships and the tribulations, now we definitely have that comfort and that Quran with that aspect.
I got a question. Did y'all celebrate Halloween?
No.
Are y'all allowed to?
No, not really.
You're not allowed to?
Because Halloween, we look at it as though you're worshiping the devil. It's
Yeah, it
it's
is
a
worship.
pagan.
It's a pagan ritual. It's a ritual.
No, just Ramadan, Eid, and Eid. We're both Eid.
So if you saw a Muslim celebrating Halloween, would you correct him?
Nicely, yeah.
Nicely?
Always. Like, try to give them the knowledge and then tell them to correct themselves at the point. Never attacking or never shaming, because that's not my place to do so.
Well, if they're teaching their children to walk in the hellfire, right? Because if you're following after the pagan ways, then you'll be walking in hellfire, right?
I mean, if you're sitting, I can't tell you that they're gonna go in hellfire.
Well, that's putting yourself in the position of being in the hellfire, right? So if we love each other, we would say, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, yo. What are you doing? Like, even if it's harshly, because out of love, it's like, yo, you're gonna kill your kids, man. Allah is gonna bring judgment upon your house for celebrating these things.
That's how we correct.
Yeah, so
I totally
agree.
Enjoyed hearing you talk.
All praises. I wish more black and Hispanics would talk to us like this, right?
Oh, praise.
All right. You too.
Thank you. Bye.